I'm Righteous James, and this is Dojo Discipline. Kickflips and knockouts and demon discipline was built on one belief that you don't run from your demons. You train them. You face them. You exercise them. You give them structure. You turn chaos into control. Because discipline creates freedom. Not just inside the cage, not just in the gym, not just during training camp or at the skate park chasing a trick, but in life, in your relationships, in your career, in your recovery, in your lowest moments and quiet battles that no one sees. Whether it's drilling a combination or landing a kickflip after falling 10 times, discipline is what keeps you showing up. It's what carries you when motivation fades. It's what builds confidence. It's what creates stability. It's what allows you to rise. Kickflips and knockouts, demon discipline. This space blends combat sports, skate culture, and personal growth. It's about overcoming addiction, about physical and mental health, about building structure so we could thrive, not just survive. We don't just study fights, we study mindset. We learn from fighters, from skaters, from legends, from people who faced chaos and chose discipline anyway. Every episode, we bring a guest into the dojo, not for hype, not for headlines, but for wisdom. And today, we're honored to welcome someone special into the dojo. And for our first episode, it only felt right to begin with someone who helped shape the sport of mixed martial arts and has experienced both the highs and the lows. And one of those people who understand that the best is UFC legend Forrest Griffin, a Hall of Famer, a pioneer, someone who showed the world that toughness isn't just about power, but about perseverance. I asked Forrest to share a message about discipline, about adversity, and about building confidence inside and outside the cage. Because confidence isn't given, it's built. So let's give our full attention and respect, and welcome to the dojo, Forrest. Let's listen.
James Goodson, what's happening? Forrest Griffin here, and you have asked me to give you some, maybe even some words of wisdom, one could call them, but you run a page focused on structure, resilience, and growth. Ooh, and you wanted me to share a story I have that relates to me doing those things. I guess first I would have to do those things. No, I'm kidding. Maybe. All right, so I don't know. Resilience. We'll start with resilience. I got knocked out by this fella, Keith Jardine. I was favored to win that fight. If I'd have won that fight, things were really taking off for me. I knew that. I did the work. I was like really diligent. I actually had the fight date got moved, blah, blah, blah. But I stayed in camp. I did the work. I knew I wouldn't quit. I knew I put myself in bad situations in training. And then I got knocked out and I cried in front of everyone. And it turns out I'm an ugly crier. And this is actually my favorite story because by Monday, I was fine. I'd realized that sometimes you make a mistake, you make a stupid mistake, you come out, a weird angle with your hands down and you pop up. And I kind of identified what the mistake I made. I thought I was doing okay until then. And, you're like, okay, I got to correct and not make that mistake again. And once I'd done that, I felt pretty comfortable moving forward. And, it sucks. You get the awkward apologies from your friends. They mean well, but they're just saying stupid shit, and you're just like, leave me alone. I'm cool. It's over. I moved past it, and from that moment, I realized I was kind of unfuckable. Like, just didn't give a shit. I was able to kind of live in my own head more than in what other people thought of me, or worry less about others' thoughts. Not that I'm still not concerned with what people think I am. You're always going to be. But yeah, in that instance, it was the big loss. It was the worst thing possible in that moment happened to me. And then I woke up and I was fucking fine and I was healthy and I could do it again. And there wasn't really, I'd already been down to what I thought was the bottom. I thought that was the bottom. But they gave me a lot of confidence that no matter what happens in this game, I have the ability to bounce back. So maybe that's a story about resilience. Maybe it's a story about a young kid who just didn't know better. I don't know.
Loved it. Forrest, thank you. Thank you for sharing that awesome story and amazing advice. It means a lot and helps more than one may know. That kind of honesty helps people. It helps fighters, it helps everyday people, and it helps anyone who's ever felt like they hit rock bottom. What stood out to me wasn't just the knockout, it was what happened after. First, Forrest did everything right. Full training camp, prepared, favored to win, career about to take off, and then, in one moment, it flipped. Knocked out, all those emotions coming to him, awkward apologies from friends, thinking this was rock bottom. That's real. Because when expectations are high, the fall feels even heavier. But here's the shift. He woke up the next morning, alive, still healthy, and still capable, and realized something powerful. Rock bottom wasn't what he imagined. The fear of it was worse than the reality. And that's something most of us don't understand until we live it. We build up worst case scenarios in our heads. We think one loss defines us, one mistake, one setback, one public failure. But when you actually face it, you experience what you thought was the worst, and you realize something deeper. You're still here. You still have your health. You still have the ability to grow, to evolve, to rebuild. And that perspective changes everything. Rock bottom isn't always destruction. Sometimes it's just clarity. It strips away ego. It strips away outside noise. It forces you to live in your own head, not everyone else's. And once he understood that, he was free. Free to rebuild. Free to grow. Free to fight again. And look where that path led him. UFC champion. Legend. Hall of Famer. Still doing what he does. Still part of the sport. Still helping others, including me and all of you listening. That is discipline. Not never falling, but realizing the fall doesn't end you. Fear is loud, but reality is usually quieter. And when you stop being afraid of the worst, you become stronger than it. And that is how you exercise your demons. Until next time, stay disciplined.